Sandals and shorts, and surf, and scuba, and sand, and sailing, and soccer. San Diego, California.
Previously on Two Balls and a Mic.
Season's greetings and welcome to Two Balls and a Mic, episode 263. On a Monday, we're going to go ahead and talk about a couple things soccer in San Diego related, because San Diego FC has begun their public displays of preseason in the Coachella Invitational, falling 3-1 against New York City FC. We're going to go ahead and talk about all those details. Chiva and I was there. Not Chiva. Abraham will be there next week. But we're going to go ahead and cover all of that, including the ribbon cutting that Abraham was part of. We're also going to go ahead and welcome in Jonas Eidevall, head coach for San Diego Wave, who had some minutes tonight and is going to go ahead and share what his thoughts are and his outlook is for this next year. For our listeners and only listeners, Abe is trying to solve a Rubik's Cube, and we'll see how that pans out later on. But we're also going to go ahead and just touch on goals, gaffes, and greats. Soccer in San Diego is about to go ahead and get very interesting. Make sure that you are paying attention, because the upcoming YMCA charity match is happening. Some San Diego Wave, San Diego FC people will be part of it. We'll be part of it as well. I heard
Brandon and Esteban.
Brandon and Esteban will be part of it, along as with one Willie Santos being part of it. So shout out to everybody who is pitching in as we go ahead and start this year. It's upcoming.
Oh man,
Scholastic
how are you
year.
guys doing?
Not doing well.
Oh, ¿cómo está tu tecito?
That's how you know it's bad. Rick
Yeah.
tea.
Tony's making us sick. He forced us to come in to work. He
Mhm.
forced himself to come into work. I would like to say I'm here under protest.
I told Tony, hey, dude, we can postpone till Wednesday till you're feeling better. He said, no, the show must go on.
I'm a warrior.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
And some warriors die on the battlefield.
That is amazing. Other than Tony not feeling too well,
Yeah.
Abe, how was your weekend? You went to Big Bear?
I went to Big Bear on Wednesday. I had a good time this weekend. I had a really busy work weekend, Super Bowl and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Going crazy.
Good tips?
Yes. Good
Nice.
tips.
Abe's balling right now.
Super
Dinner
Bowl?
on
We're
Abe.
going to the casino. Aren't we? No.
Oh, no, we're not.
No, we're not.
How about them birds, though?
Oh, yeah.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
All right, Jeremy
Let's
has
go.
$5 that Abe doesn't finish that before the end of the pod.
You're
How
going to be
confident-
short $5, Jeremy.
Ooh, okay.
I won't hold you to it because
Oh
I
my
know
God,
I can
you're
do
almost
it.
pretty much done.
This will
It's
go
a
down as
bad-
the Tony Flu Pod performance.
Yeah,
Could.
100%. It was some bad pizza I had at the Super Bowl.
Bad pizza.
That's
Okay,
what,
would you,
that's what it was.
he blames bad pizza. A lot
Yeah.
of people say he was super hungover.
Yeah.
It's so many different things. I don't think he actually had the flu though.
No, either way, it was a great performance, whatever he had.
Because if he had the flu, other people would have gotten sick. People don't talk about that.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Then you have nothing to worry about. You were not going to get sick.
FCC played?
Can't wait for y'all to talk SDFC match last Saturday. Let's go finally football analysis. Yes, we have highlights. We have post match interviews.
Well, let's start with the beginning of the week on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Abe, you were there at the what's it called? Sharp
Healthcare Performance Center.
Correct.
For their brand new ribbon cutting.
How was that? You saw Mr. Billionaire Mansour.
Oh,
Mohammed,
Mr.
Yeah,
Mansour.
Sir Mohammed Mansour
Sir
was
Mohammed.
there. We had a lot of people. Brad Termini was there. He got a few shout outs. He's the main architect, or not architect, but main person behind like the building of the academy. It was Cody Martinez. Over $100 million was put into this facility, which is crazy when you really think about it. Like, at the very least, this team, they've spent $600 million. We know that, which is quite a lot of money. But yeah, the ribbon cutting itself was a cool event. We got to walk around the facility, see what it's like.
Is it done? It's completely done?
It's completely done. That part, the academy part, still isn't done. There's still going to be some classrooms in the room and board that they're going to have for the Right to Dream. I believe they said that's going to open in August. So
I think everyone's moving in August.
Yeah, so they're gonna, because it is like a school year when you really think about it. They're teaching them and all that, so it's gonna be in August when they open that part of the facility. But being able to like see where they're training and all that, it's really quite something to see, because it just all looks world class. It's brand new. There's still that like fresh smell. Like usually you think of like a locker room, a training area. It's a kind of it's got a gross little smell to it, right? But it was really nice.
So some of us were talking about that, right? There's that picture that SDFC shared of like the locker room itself, right? And it looks very professional. It looks really clean. And people were kind of saying, is this at Snapdragon or is this at their facility? Obviously, it's at the Sharp Performance Center. And, you want to have the best for your players. Like, that's where they're going to spend most of their time. That's where they're going to train. That's what they're going to be literally 90% of the time. 10% of the time is going to be at Snapdragon. So that locker room stays the same. This is the Tony that the picture that I'm talking about. This looks fucking sick. Freaking sick. Sorry. My bad. This looks sick.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean,
Tony told me no bad words anymore.
Yeah, I mean, this is where they'll have all their promo shoots. There's nothing that's San Diego FC at Snapdragon, so might as well have it at your performance center, right? Like, make everything in-house. And that's what
Jeremy, you owe him $5.
You've lost. But yeah, so I mean, it's a state-of-the-art
we take Apple Pay
facility. And it's where it's happening, right? Like, that's where the trainings are happening. Everybody seems happy with the installations. I actually got there last Thursday to talk with Mikey Varas, Chucky Lozano, Anders Dryers, and a couple of the other players. And I mean, it's as comfortable as you can get. Everything's very new, and it's an expansion. Just kind of talking to some of the players, and hey, what has this preseason been like, and compared to other preseasons? What happened?
Yeah, no, for sure everything sounds a la madre.
All right,
fine.
All right, no, keep going. Go for it. Let's see how let's see how you speak. How about you untap your accent? How about that?
Hey, I was born with that. Out of that.
Are you born with accents, or that's like something that's developed? Right?
I think it's laziness sometimes.
Oh,
what?
All right.
Sometimes. I said sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, you're
interesting.
Anyway, well done, Abe. But yeah, so that was the ribbon cutting. Just again, it was ribbon cutting for a facility that was already open.
Yeah, they were using it. Technically, I think they were working on like the building where they have like their meals and stuff, where they're going to be like intermingling with the Right to Dream Academy players.
Yeah.
When it's official, which could be interesting. I mean, it looks like a lunchroom cafeteria, so you might have like a 14-year-old kid just going and hanging out with older Chucky Lozano and like learning about what it's like to play in these major leagues. So it's a cool concept, and I do look forward to when the academy gets built and how that intermingling ends up working.
Checks in the mail, Abe. But yeah, that's as much as we can say in terms of like the buildings, like what's happening at the buildings.
Yeah.
Like
I got to see like where they keep the boots. That was cool.
Oh, the boot wall.
Yeah, the boot wall.
That was dope. I know Esteban and Brandon had a good video showcasing some of that as well. Check out Baller Crew.
But yeah, Well, Tony drove up to Coachella. I was
Thank
sitting in the back seat, and thank you for getting
I'm
me there
sick.
safe and
Sick
back
of you.
safely. But yeah, they had their official first preseason match in the Coachella Invitational. This was the starting lineup. Abe, I'm gonna share it right now. Abe, I know you were watching from Big Bear home.
No, I was home. I was only on
Oh,
Big Bear one day on
gotcha.
Wednesday. But yeah, the lineup was interesting. And also it was streamed on YouTube. I know they said it was on their app. You can find it on YouTube. You don't have to use the app.
Yeah, no,
The
I
app is
know.
like a little bit hard to use.
Oh,
To be honest.
interesting. Yeah, so I mean, you can see it on their YouTube, but this was the starting lineup. CJ Dos Santos on goal. At the right back position, you had Alvarado. Center back pairing was McVeigh and Patty McNair. Left back, you had Negri. At the center mid, you had Jepe with the captain armband, and then you had Anibal Godoy. You had Angel playing kind of like a false nine center attacking midfield position. Anders Dreyer on the right wing, Chucky on the left, and then Imbarksten at the 9. So this was the first pretty much official lineup, starting lineup for San Diego FC. What did you guys think of it?
I mean, that's kind of what we've been all predicting, right? Like these are some of the mainstay players. And so this is a conversation that we had with Coach Mikey Vadas. And I like Coachella Valley Invitational because they had a very youth soccer vibe to it. And it caught up with Tom Boger. And that's kind of like the vibe that everybody was having. Like, yeah, no, it's like a, just a weekend out with the kids, but they're just adults. But we spoke with the team as they were coming down, and Coach Mikey Vadas shared with us that, this is the last game in the phases in terms of conditioning. This game against New York City FC is a culmination of really the conditioning of the team. Coming back from holiday, from wherever you are, you're a little not match fit. So let's get the team match fit. The day before, the Friday before they traveled, they went ahead and really, put the pedal to the metal, and they trained them in the morning and in the afternoon, a double training day, and really just kind of just tire them out. So it was shared with us that more than likely this team was going to be on very heavy legs. So you're not going to see them at their 100. On top of that, one of the players that was supposed to play, Luca Latorre, as a starter, wasn't a starter. There was a toe injury concern for right now. He did end up coming on in the second half and really was one of the players that changed the pace for San Diego FC and what they were proposing, especially in the second half, trying to come back against New York not Red Bulls, New York City FC. But yeah, that's kind of like the context of what you saw, right? Like this may have been the first time publicly that people have seen San Diego FC. And shout out to all the supporters who definitely there was more people there for San Diego than anybody else. Like there was not anywhere near as many fans or supporters for other teams. Obviously it's the first time you're seeing it. There's a novelty to it. But the supporters union went out there. China, it's preseason for everybody. Everybody's kind of preparing for that. They got themselves over under the Coachella Valley sun, very similar to the sun that they're going to have at Mission Valley. So just in preparation for that as well. So the team coming onto it, this is the last phase, as you said, as I said, moving into the next phase, the last two games, one against Portland here on Wednesday, and then against Otro Nueva York.
They're playing against them. Got me there.
Got you there. Anyway, the next two games are going to be really focusing on getting the starting 11 for February 23rd.
Portland?
That's
Portland's
Wednesday.
on Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's what so that's really what those next two games are going to be. This game was literally Mikey Varas telling his players and team, go get tired, redline yourself. Let's see, push it to the limit. Like how much can you really give 110%? Go, just exhaust yourself. And so that's why we saw Alvarado, right, playing at a right back position where Mikey Varas told us, he's only played like 20 minutes in that position. So we really couldn't expect much from that end for San Diego. And you know what? They were waiting. And they got their person. Actually, today, it was finally officially announced that Willie Kumado, a right back, is now signed for San Diego FC, coming over from overseas. The Right to Dream Academy graduate. It's that right back. that right back that they've needed. You were kind of thinking, well, they're going to put Lofelsend out there. That's a 3 center back line. Like, no. You're going to have 3 center backs when you're transitioning from your 4-3-3. You had Negri, the Argentinian coming from Inter Miami, playing on the left. And his play style is very interesting, right? He's not necessarily the fastest, but he's a strong defender. Like, that's a player that you're not going to go ahead and put a light foot there. Like, he's going to break your foot. Like, you better go in 100% with Negri. But that also kind of leaves a liability behind him because he does push up a lot. When you just dispose of him, boom, there's a lot of open space. And we'll talk about those counters that we saw New York City FC really take advantage of for San Diego against San Diego FC. But it was a nice, really, again, in theory, San Diego FC has been this team. In theory, this team is going to play like this. You're seeing the verticality that Mikey Vadas has talked about, the play style, playing out the back. CJ Dos Santos, the goalkeeper, getting really involved, inviting the offense for New York to come in and really start the play right out the back. And this is the style that they're definitely going to go ahead and go for. And you can see it in this play right here. You know, this is Right to Dream. This is San Diego FC, how they're going to try to go ahead and move and matriculate through the field. You start off from the back. It's cool, calm, collected. And that's what you get for having great center backs on the ball. And boom, you just try to go ahead and quick switch. This is one of these instances that was an offsides, but this is just one of the few looks that San Diego FC will be having, especially having Imbarsen, not necessarily at the point of it, but sometimes he's going to go ahead and be that false 9 that's going to be a playmaker for Chucky or Dreyers on the wings, and then go ahead and involve himself that way.
And you can tell it's also preseason, right? I mean, New York City FC didn't start off like with the high pressing. We'll get familiar with what their play style is as we learn more about the MLS, but or just Major League Soccer in general. Sorry, I know you don't say the MLS, but
you don't?
Apparently you don't, Abe.
Is this something you guys learned at Coachella?
Is this something
It's
that
actually,
we learned?
we've been told, I'm not going to say who, but a very high authority for soccer in San Diego that there's, much like there's soccer snobbery outside of MLS, there's soccer snobbery within MLS. And they're very particular of saying the MLS.
Okay, so it's
not
like
saying
the same thing as the
Major
MLB,
Leagues.
Major League Bid. So
Yeah.
you have to call it ML. You can't say the before.
MLS,
Okay.
Yeah,
Apparently.
but again, sure.
In
whatever.
MLS, in Major
Soccer.
League
In
Soccer.
MLS.
Major League Football.
Major League Soccer, which has more teams that are football club now than soccer club, which is interesting.
Yeah. So I mean,
That's actually a really good fucking point.
Overall, I think SDFC played kind of like best of their ability. It's honestly,
They got out there and tried.
yeah,
they
no,
did.
like they ended up scoring a goal, right? And maybe I don't know if any of you expected them to score.
I expected them to score. They kept it close, and it's good to remember too that this New York team was in the final stages of the playoffs last year, and they almost went to the championship if I can remember correctly. And so this is a team that's gelled together. You can, from what I saw, New York City looked like a true team that knew how they were playing, had a very simple style.
Yep.
Were able to connect, have this chemistry, and SDFC definitely isn't there yet because some of these plays and passes have looked a little robotic and just kind of let's try and thread it through this way, whereas it looks more fluid. There's a bit more flow on the other side.
I like that.
But eventually that's what they're hoping to build, this chemistry, this connection, and then also learning that they're on tired legs. It does make a lot of sense that they're not going to be kind of at their best making those moves. But New York City is a really tough team too.
And you asked me earlier, right? What did you mean on the tweet for this episode that you said, it's going to be, it's going to be, there's better things to come, right?
Yeah, why there are better things to come?
Because they were extremely tired and exhausted, just right off less than 24 hours of a double training session. That's what you get. And here you get the corner kick, a set piece off the corner, a quick corner. Chucky Lozano gives the cross, and boom, Paddy McNair, the former Manchester United, some would say barely, but former Manchester United, current SDFC and Middlesbrough legend.
I think this is where SDFC is kind of definitely could have an advantage when it comes to playing in this league. Paddy McNair is obviously very good with his head, and we saw in this goal. And then you also have Reyes, who didn't get playing time here, and then you have McVeigh as well. So I think overall, like set pieces could potentially be like their bread and butter. I wish we could have seen a better play, kind of like developing that wasn't a set piece. And I am curious to see how they defend the set pieces. We've seen teams in San Diego before kind of struggle with that. Not too sure if that San Diego FC will have that same
It's just
struggle.
San Diego thing.
But it was mainly just the transitions when they lost the ball. Like I think they played a little too up high, and then those counterattacks really got them. And that's something that we asked Mikey at the end, and we'll get to. But I agree with you, Abe. New York was definitely a team that when they want to turn it on, they turned it on.
Yeah.
And it just took them a couple minutes to kind of get back to the rhythm, and then they said, "Okay, yeah, we're gonna win this game."
And honestly, like it's one of those things where, yeah, like I would hope that this game went the way it went, because in MLS, New York is a team that's gelled, that's been together more, that has more chemistry, and some of these players, Anders Dreyer's, like he's trained maybe 3 times with the team, like just like.
And that's your DP, which is pretty
That's a
crazy.
pretty important feature here. CJ Dos Santos getting a good stop right there. We were actually in talks with Inter Miami outlet that spoke about CJ Dos Santos and how they liked him over in Miami just because of how good he was with his feet. And so very important for the right to dream style to be able to play out the back, to have that confidence. But from what I saw in this game in particular, like you live by it, you die by it. And CJ Dos Santos had a couple of instances that he was very, very tepid and unsure and not very didn't inspire confidence with the ball at his feet. And again, high line really presents for when you gift the ball, it's going to be a guaranteed on target shot / maybe goal.
He looked nervous, man.
Yeah,
he looked
a little
nervous, and hopefully he kind of gets it together. But I mean, he's also a very young goalkeeper, and you're putting a lot of trust in him. If it doesn't get any better, I can definitely see them making the switch to Pablo Cisniega. I would love to see if Pablo Cisniega gets a starting spot on Wednesday. But from what it looks like is that CJ's going to be the main guy. He played a full 90. He was one of the only 3 players to play a full 90, I believe. I think it was him, Alvarado, and McVeigh. We really didn't hear why Reyes wasn't there or didn't play. It would be maybe an illness, injury. But overall, like this is the team that's going to be playing Galaxy on the 23rd. And overall, like it's just, I think they need a little bit more time, and they don't have that time.
Yeah, exactly. And just some B-roll images here from the Coachella Valley Invitational. A lot of kiddos out there, a lot of Chucky Lozano fans. Like he's bringing people out. I really like the dynamics and being able to hear how competitive everybody is during warmups, especially the goalkeepers. Like I love it. Like they are smack talkers, and they're just having a blast out there. But just seeing again the real time game speed up close, it's a quick reminder of like, okay,
It's intense.
It's pretty intense, and when they want to, like these players are top notch, and just the way that the ball just rang and hit the crossbar, right, and just the power, the raw power attached to these the players. It's if they lose to a team, it's like, wow, the other team must have been great. Hey, San Diego Punto Football shirt in the wild. But yeah, overall, it was a good time out there. If you're gonna go ahead and head out there, Abe, next week, SPF, please.
Take some sunblock.
Please take
I'll
some
bring a
sunblock.
hat. I actually bought myself a little stool for this. I found it at the swap meet. I'll be ready.
Nice. Yeah. If you do sit behind the goals, you'll definitely use it. You can also sit general admission.
Okay.
I think it's a nice view of the whole pitch overall. But overall, how would you guys grade the San Diego FC match or San Diego FC? Like, give it a grade A, B, C, D, F.
If this was the first game of the regular season, I would probably give this like a D because it just did not look great chemistry wise. But because this is like a preseason game, their first ever game against MLS competition, it's a higher level. They're on long legs. I would give this probably like a B.
Okay. My thing with this is like, look, San Diego FC started off hot and they started up with a lead. They lost 3-1 this game. There was a goal that was taken back that Godoy scored in the second half, and looked like Chucky might have been offsides. Not too sure what happened. The ref, Tony Tony, you said that the ref did the VAR sign.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah, no, like
Maybe
he,
he's like
I didn't
they're
catch that,
practicing
but you
too.
said
It's
he did.
precision.
no,
Maybe
he did this and said offsides. Like he did there's no motion in soccer or football that is this. Like
Yeah,
that's
so
the
I
VAR.
didn't catch that, but I mean,
That's
if
so
it did
weird.
happen, like that is crazy. But yeah, like I mean, we see here like a through ball, and then CJ kind of deflects the ball, and Alvarado struggled there a little bit, right? He's not a natural right back. Like he played a full 90, but he's a center mid, and Mike Ibarra told us after the game, like he trained like 20 minutes as a fullback, and then
Yeah.
he hopped in the game, playing that position.
and again, that gives you that idea that like they're just getting these players tired. Like
Mhm.
exhaust all your energy. Go out there and just redline it. Like that. Sure, you don't play right back. Yeah, but I need you to empty the tank. Like that's what that was. I need you to empty the tank. We have somebody on the way. But for right now, this is what he's gonna have to do. And again, you ask what grade? Like just a solid C. Like it's not neither here nor there. It wasn't great. It wasn't fantastic. There were some good looks. There were some things that can potentially start to turn into trends. I can definitely figure.
like what?
Just the lack of defense
Oh,
and just generally just a disregard for what's going to happen once you're being attacked. And I say that by not necessarily saying like, well, the defenders, their first objective is not to defend. It's going to be part of the system that starts the attack for that. In order to do that, you got to get the ball back, you got to get possession back. But at the core of it, how they defend is really going to go ahead and dictate how many times they win. Do you like the performance of a flashy attack? And man, we peppered it. We had 5 more shots on goal in the first half than the other team. Yeah, but the other team is up 3-0 because they counterattacked you. And it's those counterattacking moments that even I know Mikey Varas post match when you asked him, Chiva, just identified like, yeah, we're gonna have to work on that. That's what we're working on for that. So I'm really curious to see what people thought as well, like what they think. Yeah, a C minus here.
Yeah,
It's regular C.
I agree with you guys there. I give it like a C minus, maybe a D plus. It wasn't the best performance, and you know what this reminded me of? When you join a Sunday league team and you don't know anyone, and you're all just playing based off how you know how to play the game, and it's not pretty, and then somehow a goal comes in, but then you get dominated. Like that reminded me of this. I think it was. I saw in the comments. Jeremy made a good comment here. 16 total training sessions before this game, and we know not everyone made all 16. I think that's 100% accurate. Like you had maybe half of the team, 75% of the team that practiced all 16 of those days, and then out of the starters, maybe 3 of them were not there from the start. So Dreyer looked very, very kind of like off the pace. I expected more, and I mean, honestly, that's my fault. Like he barely joined in, and he had a few training sessions. I think he'll potentially get better. I agree with Esteban's comment of Godoy played very good. I think Godoy is your most experienced player, along with Boateng in MLS. So he's definitely going to be a starting position, at least in this preseason. Who knows? Maybe he potentially starts on the 23rd as well. But overall, I think the best player was Chucky. I think Chucky by far did show a different level compared to a lot of the players on that field. Like, I mean, like you said, Tony, like he did break a couple ankles. It didn't lead to anything, but he got that assist. He technically got that second assist of the goal taken back, but I think he was definitely the better player on the field on that day.
Yeah, there's a gear that you can tell Chucky Lozano has that nobody else has on that field. Maybe Dreyer's, but again, it's very early and he still needs to get acclimated to the team. And that's a good point. I know our buddy George was there and he said it earlier. There wasn't a lot of communication coming from the SDFC backline. But again, like those things are difficult. And I'll give the benefit of the doubt. They're new teammates. There's different languages. There's different everything. Like there's not that confidence to be. I don't have the confidence as a goalkeeper because I don't know you and you're what works for you, right? Because if I'm the goalkeeper and you mess up and I'm like, I need you to go that. What are you doing? Like, but you don't respond to that type of feedback, then it's not for me to say that Here, there was a chance that SDFC could have gotten a penalty. I think it's a very well called non-penalty.
Oh, no, puro cuerpo.
Puro cuerpo. And the second half, second half comes in and it's those adjustments, right? Who else do you have on the bench? Everybody got subbed out for San Diego FC, essentially.
Well, not 3 players. But pretty much everybody.
Pretty much.
I was surprised they didn't take CJ out and give another goalkeeper a chance. I'm thinking maybe on Wednesday, Pablo Cisniega gets to start. But again, I could also see Mikey Vada saying, no, like, I'm going to give CJ all of these minutes. Like, he's my starter. He's my number 1. Like, he needs all these reps for sure. Other than that, like, I mean, anyone coming off the bench impressed you? I mean, I thought Luca looked pretty good overall. I mean, honestly, he wasn't 100%, but he looked pretty good as well. He hasn't been playing a lot. He hasn't played he didn't play in Celta Vigo quite a lot with his last months.
Oh yeah, boy. So our whole debate about Luca de la Torre's 4 minutes of playtime being better than anything in MLS. Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
But he still looked better than a lot of these players. Like, he looked better than Thomas Angel. He looked better than Dreyer. He looked better than a lot of other players still. So, I mean, I think his class shows for himself. So I think once he's 100%, he's definitely going to be running circles around those players as well.
I could see that. Yeah. And again, like, Invarston left a lot to be desired in this match. He really didn't showcase who and what he is.
No le llegó mucho tampoco.
He wasn't fed a lot. SDFC did not attack through the middle. They hardly attack from the middle.
They play from the back in the middle and then they open it.
Yeah.
Like, if that makes sense. So I
better
think
make
that's
sense.
very
What
risky.
are you doing here at 2 balls and a mic at 8:30? That didn't make sense. If not,
that's
we're here to tell
very risky. It's a very risky play style. And I think we saw it a lot when they lost the ball in the midfield and those counterattacks. And again, like you said, that's something that they have to work on for sure. And hopefully we see that by Wednesday, because they have another game on Wednesday. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I thought Valakari looked really good when he came on right on the second half for Thomas Angel. I think he's a big improvement. He's more of a natural center attacking midfielder than Thomas Angel. And I was impressed with his through ball passes. Again, the chemistry wasn't fully there, but give this a couple months and I think it can get there. It's something that I mentioned on the podcast that we're going to be appearing on later, or we were. What was the name of the podcast? The Battered Herons. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
surprisingly, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, I
You want to
say,
talk right now, man. Leave him alone, okay?
San Diego FC will either be fighting for like a top of the table, top 3, or going to be bottom 3. There's no in between, Tony.
You guys have no idea how much tension there is in this studio. Tony and Chiva were throwing hands.
Send the video,
before
Abraham.
the
You recorded this. Send the video.
Okay.
We'll play that at the end of this episode. Send the video of me absolutely dominating Chiva.
like, Tony just wants to kiss me by now, but
all right. All right. Serious soccer stuff, guys.
I like it.
Anyways, so yeah, again, 3-1. It could have been 3-2. It could have also been 4-1 for New York City FC. San Diego FC did get lucky here a couple times and very fortunate. The Alex Mighton play. Alex Mighton, another player that came out in the second half.
He
was a
crazy.
bowling ball. He was a bowling ball. And, with that play style and you're going to go 100%, just go all out, then you're going to get stopped by, the immovable object meets the
This one
Unstoppable
right here.
force.
Unstoppable
meets
force.
The immovable object.
Wait,
Yeah.
go back a little bit. Like, I'm already sharing. Like, this play was insane. Like, Alex Mighton looked like he's very quick.
Yeah.
And I think coming off the bench, he's definitely going to be a difference maker, especially if you put him against tired legs. I think he can definitely, like, get behind that defensive line, like in this one.
a game changer for sure.
Yeah, you get this long ball, and then
Jeez.
look at that. Like, how is that not a red?
I mean,
Yes.
when it's a preseason game, I think it's okay to not be giving out red cards.
Oh, it's okay to be
Oh.
knocking people out like that. That's literally what you just
I don't
said.
care if it's preseason,
That's
if it's
literally
playoff, if it's
what
like
you
the
just
first
said.
game of the
Coming
season.
from the
Like, this is a
goalkeeper.
red card.
Yeah, that's true. It's definitely bad.
And if you see,
This is the same ref that went like
us?
this.
Can you see us in this? Oh, because we're in the back. Yeah, there you go. On the
Ah.
left, there's Tony and Chiva
Yeah.
watching this play as it
Do you-
develops. So on the left side, you see the contact there, and then we're like, interesting because you and I
I
had
thought
a-
that was inside the box
that-
at
it
first.
was
I think
inside the
going back,
box.
I
It
think
looked
going
like
back,
it was outside the box.
I think it was outside.
the jump was outside, but the contact was inside the box.
I
The-
thought so at
Look
first.
at the
too.
background. I don't know if this guy's on the phone. Yeah, he's definitely on the phone. He's got his hands. He looks like he was just like, "Oh my gosh,
Oh my
Yes.
god!
Like no, vato, like
That's-
he knocked them out too, and
it
I
was bad." Yeah,
I was very disappointed of the play that happened of the set piece. I thought it was or more. I thought Valakari would definitely get a shot on target or something, but
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
again, we were there right behind, and we're like, oh man, sick. We're gonna get a cool view of some sort of curling effort here, a set piece, and it's gonna be awesome. And let me find it. Find it, Tony. Find it. Where is it, Tony?
You're good at this, Tony. You're good at this.
Find
you're
it,
gonna do
Tony.
it, Tony.
Find it, Tony. Tony, what are you doing? Oh my gosh.
You're not
Everybody's
sick,
oh, there it
Tony.
is. Found it. So this is a set piece. I'm like, cool. That should have been inside. We're about to see a really cool set piece. We're about to see something awesome. Clearly, I put myself behind in case the ball needed saving or
Mhm.
somebody around me needed to.
He was
just-
holding the camera, and I told him, "Give me that. I know you were waiting to catch the ball."
Yeah, you're right. And we were rewarded by this play. Just
Through the legs. Up, stop.
Nada.
well,
Why the
all right.
wall
Nada.
exists.
Doo-doo caca. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, Anis Saidi also played. 16-year-old, got minutes. You'll see him, and you're like, "You're 16."
That's a huge,
tall,
huge
ass
human being.
kid.
Humongous.
Holy shit, man!
I
like,
remember,
he's
yeah,
tall.
that first training we went to, I was like trying to just get a lay of like, okay, which players can I name? Which ones do I know? It's like, wait, there's a 16-year-old here.
Mhm.
I cannot tell who the 16-year-old is.
The 16-year-old is hanging out, and I really like this dynamic that they have with Rusev.
Okay.
You know, he's the blondest of blondes, and it's just
Yeah.
it's just a 16-year-old, huge, and he's just like dragging him along, and it was funny to see him go over there. Who was that number 2? Ooh,
Ooh.
Play it back.
ooh, ooh! I already removed it. Ooh, ooh. Right there.
El número dos, Esteban. What are you talking about, Esteban? Just let us know, like, on which clip. Tony's not
did he-
100%, so.
Did he touch the ball? I mean, he was near it. He was near it. Yeah, Nerwinski, I believe 30-year-old. But yeah, the left back who came in for negative. Yeah, correct. Right here. SoCal Footy Life. Shout out to you. Jake Nerwinski. So in this squad, there's still a lot of players that know that they're not going to be part of SDFC. They're trialists. They're the part of the super draft. I know Sami Kanan, gave his farewells and thank you to SDFC for the experience. We already knew he was going to be heading back to college. Coach Mikey Vadas
Yeah.
told us a couple months ago, but he's still part of the team. He was still part of this Coachella Valley Invitational squad. But yeah, so there's a lot of moving parts. Clearly, as of today, a new right back coming in. Seasons.
Yeah, no, and I think overall, I mean, like I said, we gave the grades. They lost 3-1. No high expectations of even winning this game, right? But they do have a game coming up on Wednesday. Yes.
I was just saying, Captain Sverskov? Kapitan Sverskov?
I think
No,
it's
I
good to
wasn't
have a
captain.
midfielder.
I
as-
wasn't surprised.
No.
I wasn't surprised at all. I think he's one of the veteran players in the team. I think if anything, Anibal was Godoy. He was also like a leader out there. He was speaking a lot. And he was kind of like getting back. And you can tell he was tired too because he was walking a lot on the field as well. And that's how you know it's preseason, right? But if I see a player walking when they're on the transition of attacking,
Yeah.
I'm going to yell if I'm the head coach. Like, I get it, you're on tired legs, but come on. Like, get it together. Like, I don't want to see walking out there on that transition. But other than that, I think Godoy had a great game. And Tony, anything you want to add?
No, just like looking over the match recap. If we missed anything, I missed match recaps.
Yeah.
Like just, I mean, obviously we get them for San Diego Wave, but just like it's interesting how we're gonna get them for MLS. Just some of the information out there, the scoring summaries, misconduct summaries. Yep, 3 yellow cards for STFC, 1 for Alejandro Alvarado, Yepes Ferskov, and Hamadi Diop. in the second half, and I think that was for arguing.
Yeah, Svechkov for sure was for arguing. That was after the they recalled that goal by SDFC, right?
Yeah, they recalled it, and I mean, the team was celebrating, and then he went to go talk to the
did the
So-
VAR.
side ref.
celebrating for a while.
Yeah, I mean, and then he just ended up kind of like calling it offsides.
73. Yeah, let's find this. We can do this.
Again, Tony's very good at
do
finding
this.
things, but
I believe
he's
in
not
myself.
100% right now.
I believe in myself. I'm playing through it.
You're gonna do it, Tony.
Jesus. I don't like the way that you're getting confident around me. Abe.
I love it, actually.
Is it?
I'm getting too confident in here. You're right. It needs to be like
We need to bring you down.
Andrew. There needs to be an AC appearance or something, and I'll calm down.
Give me the top 56.
56 there.
Okay.
Here we go.
It was 133.18
I
on
got
the
it.
video.
All right.
Thank you, Esteban. Look at that, Esteban coming in clutch. You want to be a producer on the show, man? Tony didn't like that.
We see players tumbling and being in pain. So here's the goal for SDFC que fue anulado. Everybody's already at halfway. Just celebrating. Wait, what's going on?
Go a little more forward.
Forward.
That's the replay of it.
That's the replay of it. So where's the actual
Here.
Coachella Valley? Oh, okay. ¿Qué minuto dijo el Esteban?
133.18. Damn,
the same thing.
so embarrassing, huh? There we go. We got the play
All
here.
right. Good little dummy there. Trying to come out playing. A lot of people crowded in a small space, opening up to the left-hand side. Again, those wings, bringing it back in and just slotting it in.
That's
and
what
a
it
hop.
was. I think
And
the
a
hop
hop.
was the offsides.
Yeah, no, 100%. And the thinking there is that he was obstructing the view of the goalkeeper. But even me as a goalkeeper, like I don't think that's enough to warrant calling this ball back, this goal back. I don't think it influenced too much. Like, yeah, I can see why it was called.
It's something that Tony and I were talking about when this happened is you have to remember these are still CONCACAF referees, whether it's the USL, whether it's the NWSL, whether it's MLS, whether it's Liga MX, they're CONCACAF referees and they are horrible at their jobs. Doesn't matter what level it is, CONCACAF referees in general are known to be the worst referees out there. And you're going to get shit like this called all the time. So it's something that the SDFC players need to get used to it. I think something that fans also need to get used to it. Back in the loyal days in the USL, we saw a lot of pretty bad refereeing.
It's the same
And
pool
it's
of
the
referees,
same
guys.
thing in the MLS.
In MLS.
In MLS.
Coachella Valley Invitational is a fun time out there. Again, this ball, is that enough? Like, he's just getting out of the way.
But the thing is, if he was offsides,
And like,
it's a part of the play.
From an offside position.
Yeah, if
I
he
think-
came in an offside position and he hopped over the wall and it impacted
I
the
don't-
play,
I don't think this
it's-
is like
it's an
an
offside.
egregious all referees are horrible type of call. I think this is like a coin flip. You depend on what you see here.
Yeah.
Obviously, with VAR, you'll be able to like make a more clear decision, but things like this are going to happen in any soccer.
Yeah.
My thing is, if you're gonna call this an offsides, you better call that a red card after
yeah. You can't
That's
have
true.
it both ways.
on that foul.
And that was my takeaway too. It took 2 minutes to call it back. And it's not like there was VAR.
Yeah, that is the biggest issue. Is you didn't. If you really believe that was an offside, you should have been able to call it immediately. The line ref or the main referee should have seen that and called it.
Yeah, good dummy there. And
Oh.
New York trying to come out playing. There's 5 SDFC players right there.
Great
Open
through
onto
ball
the
there from Balakari
space.
to Chucky.
Chucky looks up his
Perfect
head.
cross.
Very well weighted. And a good technique there by Godoy.
This is literally almost like el gol del Bofo con Chivas en el 2006 contra Toluca para quedar campeón.
Yeah.
It was pretty similar.
Chivas beat TJ this weekend too.
Yeah, they
They did. Shout out to Andy who was out there. I'm
He
watching
didn't
this.
really block the view. Yeah, again, like this is what was decided. People were having exceptions. Godoy over here is like, no, that was my goal. Like, who are you talking to? Like, what VAR?
What is Jeppe saying to the ref right there? It's like, wow, this is what I come to America for.
And boom, here's your yellow card.
I love that the captain stepped up though, and I love that the captain.
Yeah, captain's
It's
gotta
actually
get the yellow
crazy that the
card.
captain gets the yellow card there. Like
He-
it should have been
technically-
someone else. Godoy was going crazy, and
Yeah.
If anything, the ref should know. Hey, you're the captain. Let's talk about this. You gave him a yellow card. I don't think that was warranted. If the ref already said, "Hey, we're not going to talk about it," dude, you should be talking about it with the captain. So I think the referee gets a D- for sure on
Gaff
this
of the
game.
week.
Gaff of the week.
One
is
of the
the
gaps of the
referee.
week. Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. People were asking me, hey, Tony, hey,
Hey, dude,
hey,
Hey.
hey there.
Oh, hey, Tony.
Oh, hi. Hey,
people were asking
Tony.
you what?
We
Hey,
like the things
Tony.
you do. Oh, was this going to be the kit for
The away kit?
the away kit for SDFC? And the answer is no.
Okay.
Rather similar though.
Okay.
I think this is more like a training kit, right?
Yeah, no, this is
Yeah.
a training kit. Some of our sources have inlaid some info of what's coming. Sure, again, it's just a kit. Yes, it's gonna be white. Yes, we had eyes on a very pixelated kind of view of it at some point. The blue is a little bit too dark blue from that image. Think more Argentina blue on the designs of it.
On the stripes?
Yeah, on
three
the
stripes?
on
Okay.
the designs of it, a little bit lighter of blue.
There's a release party on Friday.
There
They'll
is a-
be announcing it there.
There is a release party, but it's one of these things where he has the kits in the closet. No, I'd be giving them away, guys. I'd 100% be giving them away to you guys. This one was given to us for decoration purposes, and we're working on San Diego Wave to get them ourselves some too. But yeah, no, it's a really interesting thing and dynamic that we have. I know you don't like talking about kits.
I don't
and
mind
stuff.
talking about kits. It's all right. You know what was crazy? I was at a Super Bowl party
Oh, yeah?
yesterday after the Super Bowl. I saw someone have an original Orenthal James Simpson jersey.
A Bills one?
Buffalo Bills signed
Wow.
Orenthal James Simpson
A
jersey.
signed Orenthal
I'm
James.
surprised they still it's just insane. I was like, that's insane thing to
I
have in your man cave. But
love that. I
Tony would
abs-
have one if he could get his hands on one. He would hang up an OJ Simpson.
It's history. He was one of the greatest running backs of all time. He made it to NFL 100
That's true.
as a player. You know,
Yeah.
artist, art.
Sorry, we got distracted.
Yeah,
Back to soccer.
100%. Party at Snapdragon Stadium. Got my tickets for it, says George. A lot of people are going to be out there. It's going to be a great time.
Mhm.
They've been doing great with that. But yeah, if anything, again, everybody has something to say about the trip out there to Coachella. It was fun. They will be having. Okay, so what's next for San Diego FC?
Wednesday, they'll be playing Portland Timbers, not Portland Thorns. It's gonna be hard. I've been getting I've been mixing that up in my head for a while because they're both PTFC,
PTFC, yeah.
but this is the Portland Timbers.
And then Portland Timbers next Wednesday, February 12th at 1:30 p.m. In the club's second preseason match as part of the 2025 Coachella Valley Invitational. The match will be streamed live on San Diego FC's mobile app.
Or YouTube. Just go on YouTube.
Just go on YouTube.
Just go on
Um,
YouTube.
Yeah, it's on there. You don't have to download things.
Predictions for a starting lineup.
Are you guys going to be back in
listen.
Coachella?
Abe will be there
Abe
next
will be there.
weekend.
On Saturday, I will be there.
Saturday.
And then I'll be there on Sunday watching Wave FC.
Woo.
Excited.
Ooh.
We have this. This is pretty much the roster. The alternates. This is the rotations. Who do you guys think could potentially be the starting? Do you guys think CJ starts again on Wednesday?
Yes, I do. And if anything, we'll see maybe a second half substitution at the goalkeeper. But yes, CJ probably should start again.
Lovelsen, if he's healthy, does he start at right back? If he's healthy, yes. If not, do we see Alvarado again at the right back? Does the new signing today, Willie
Willie?
Kumadu, make
I don't think he would
if
be
he,
playing this.
will he be
this early
in
on.
Coachella at least? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe. Do you guys think he'll make the trip and just kind of hang out at least?
Yeah, he'll probably be there training with the team, but I wouldn't put any money on him playing in this game.
So I mean, they're not going to not play anything until Wednesday. We saw other teams having scrimmages. We saw who was it, Tony, playing Las Vegas Lights?
We saw
Real Salt Lake
Playing
playing Las Vegas Lights.
Okay.
It was we saw
see Nate Miller.
We saw
He was on
Nate
there.
Miller,
Charlie Adams
versus Charlie Adams.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Charlie's on Las Vegas Lights.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool as well. We also saw Jack Metcalf.
Jack Metcalf
Oh.
stopped us. Actually,
He stopped us.
Super
and-
agent Jack Metcalf.
Yeah, super
he's
agent.
working on some stuff with MLS.
Yeah,
Actually,
so again, who do we see at start? Do we see Patty and McVeigh again? Do you guys think he'll just kind of repeat that lineup?
Yeah, I think you have to.
Negri again at left back. Do we see that Jeppe and Godoy center mid position again? Do you guys think that happens? Do we see Valakari getting the start now? Does Luca de la Torre get the start? I could potentially see Luca de la
Yeah.
Torre getting a start now on
Mhm.
Wednesday. I think we see the same top three. We see Dreyer, Imbarson, and Chucky up on top. Because I think at the end of the day, you're gonna want to have that consistency in the starting lineup. I think it would be fair to say if we see similar starting 11, you can kind of pinpoint at least 8 of those 11 that are going to be starting against LA Galaxy on the 23rd.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Abe, I don't know if you're excited to catch the game on Wednesday.
I'm
so-
excited to watch that one. It's gonna be weird not knowing that you guys are there because at least when I was watching, I was like kind of looking for you guys
Our screen is frozen.
in the
yeah.
background. Sorry, I think they can still hear us, right?
yeah, we're
I
fine.
hope so.
They can still see us. Hola.
Yeah. If you guys see any of us at Coachella, feel free to say what's up. Well, you guys aren't gonna be there. I'll be there though.
Yeah, if you see
Should be
Abe,
fun.
say hi to Abe. Hang out in his camper.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sleeping there.
That's pretty
We
cool.
can
Actually,
find a place to park.
that's
I don't know
pretty
how that
cool.
works.
I'm like, damn,
Never done it.
should I join you?
Do you
Nah,
want?
Oh wow, I'll sleep on the floor.
Excuse me. What's going on here?
No. It's all right.
As Tony figures out our technical difficulties, you can still see the other screens and hear us, hopefully. So let us know in the comments.
Hey,
if-
we're here.
Oh, we're here.
Hey,
we're
technically
back.
being
Yeah,
difficult.
woo.
But all right. You like that, didn't
that
you?
was
I
good.
was gonna make a joke, but it's not.
You're being
nice to me.
difficult.
If you like that one more.
I'm gonna come after you again.
Dale. So yeah.
Oh, the video. Did you? You should put it up.
And as we welcome the head coach for San Diego
Oh
Wave.
no, let's wait. Actually, let's switch
let's
and transition
wait.
into San Diego Wave talk.
Well, there is some sound that we had.
Oh,
Because
yes.
again, there wasn't a lot of interest, it seemed, from media complaining. But we were the only ones, and talked with and networked a lot with a lot of different people. Tom Bogert being one of them. Got a couple chats in with the Bogster.
Cool dude.
Yeah, cool dude.
Chill dude.
Mas chaparro lo que pensaba.
Loki,
Yeah,
I think you
chaparro.
got to be a little bit of a maniac to be one of these news breakers, because
That's
it's
exactly what he is.
a lot of like texting and weird conversations and always like hitting people up. Like that's why Tony is in charge of a lot of the news breaking stuff that we do, because Tony's a little bit of a maniac.
I am a little bit of a maniac, and by a little
Yeah.
bit, I mean
A lot of it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. All right. So who should we hear from first?
It's not like I didn't share them there instead of the YouTube, but
No, I know. I'm not looking for that on the YouTube, sir. I'm actually looking
let's hear
for-
from Patty. Actually, let's hear from Coach Mikey Vadas first.
You know, we've been training really hard. You play against yourself. You play against USL teams. It's good, but then you know the barometer when you start playing against MLS competition. And overall, like 100% commitment to the ideas. And now there's a lot of clarity in terms of what little adjustments we need to do better to make sure that we can finish a game, with a win, right? But at the end of the day, we created a lot of chances. We gave up some chances too, so we're not happy with that. But we did create a lot of chances. This is what we said from the beginning. We're going to go after the game. We want to score goals. We definitely could have been 2 goals or more.
What did you see on that set piece that led to the first goal? Crossed by Chucky up to Patty McNair. What did you see in that play?
Yeah, I mean, we've been working a lot on set pieces, so we prioritize that. We'll do that. We'll do set pieces multiple times a week, not just in the day before the game, because we think it's a clear advantage if you're well prepared in those.
And do you feel like the transitions, getting counterattack, is a thing that the team will probably have to work on moving forward?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So just reading clarity of possession in terms of on the opposite side, when our possession doesn't look so good, how are we positioned? Are we far away or are we closer? Also, how well we're able to anticipate and defend the depth in behind us. Being a little bit clearer with the ball, right? Taking what the opponent gives us, whether that's central or wide. But 100%, we have a lot of guys, though, who haven't played in this league. And they've come from leagues that the transition is totally different. This is a transition league, so this is exactly what we needed.
Coach, I mean, also you have players that have played in this league, but you have players, like you said, that haven't played in this league. How do you cope with the amount of games and amount of travel that's within this league?
That's a good question for about 6 months from now. But what we're doing is we're preparing them for the reality of what this league is. So we showed them a map of what our travel schedule will look like, but we superimposed it onto a map of Europe, and it creates a pretty clear picture of how many miles these guys will be doing. So we do that because we think about, okay, what is challenge, and then we take this as an opportunity to embrace that.
Any individual highlights of players or performances that stuck out for you, especially those who are maybe trialists or fighting for that starting 11 role, perhaps?
In terms of, not in terms of trialists, but in terms of, just in terms of our play, I think Irving and Anders finding a connection to each other. You saw them target each other, winger to winger, multiple times. I think that's going to be massive in our league. And then even just with Marcus in terms of how Marcus complements those two, I think I see a lot of positives about the front three. Of course, we need to become more consistent. We need to be able to do it in over 90 minutes. But at the end of the day, we did a double day 2 days ago. Like, we knew we were going to play this game fatigued. Part of the challenge was to do that. Now we try to get fresh and start thinking about freshness and execution.
Coach, you guys are also part of the Right to Dream group. So how does the Right to Dream help you guys improve as a club?
It just gives you clarity about who you are, right? So it makes tough decisions a lot easier, because we have to stay within the principles and the style of play, but also the values of Right to Dream. And thank goodness I'm 100% aligned with it, and I have the same convictions as Right to Dream does for them. So it makes my job a lot easier, even though at some point some people will say, like, oh, why don't you adjust this or why don't you adjust that? It just makes it very clear what we do and how we improve.
And what can you tell us about Alvarado? He put a full 90 shift, playing at right back and then kind of transitioning to that center midfield. What can you tell us about him?
Yeah, Jesper has a little bit of a knock. Hopefully he'll be back on Wednesday. But, this guy steps in, playing a position. He's played probably 20 minutes of training in, right? And so he's a complete warrior. Is it easy for him? No, that was a tough task. We know that the best players in this league are wide and on the final line. So he got exposed a couple times, but he also did some really, really great plays. And then overall, he's been impressing us in the midfield. He's a midfielder. He's a young guy, hungry, really, really smart. And I don't think it's fair to evaluate him as a fullback. He has 20 minutes of training and then plays against NYCFC, who's a pretty darn good team, right?
You heard there, Coach Mike Ibarras, SDFC head coach.
I just want the people to know that during this break, I've been abused smell-wise.
Chill.
By
Tony.
a certain person named Alejandro Villaseñor. He just farted.
Me eché un pedote, güey. Me cagué bien rico.
It was quite the stench.
These guys don't know what miles are. 100% kilometers.
Yeah. Who was it that somebody mentioned, like, that they were looking for a flat, and I thought that was kind of funny. I remember when we were interviewing them. Were you there for that? No. No, it was during that one of those first. I think it was McVeigh, actually.
It might have been McVeigh.
He was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm still looking for a flat," and I was like, "Whoa,
what was that?"
That was my attempt at a British accent, or I don't even know if he's
nowhere near how good my Jonas Eidevall voice is.
Do not do the Jonas Eidevall voice.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I really enjoyed listening to Mike Ibarras there. It sounds like he's going to be a lot of fun in these post games, giving like a lot of insight, but also very protective still. But he's definitely energized and excited to be there still.
Gotta say, dude's giving a lot of real and good answers. Well, hopefully the questions from us keep coming up, because again, that's what we're here to do. We're here to stimulate these players and coaches of like soccer. Like, Hey, what'd you see out there, coach? Hey, you guys
lost 3-1. How was the defense? What are you gonna fix on the defense there,
what's
sir?
the deal with the? Wait, I just got the whiff of it. Oh my god, Chiva!
I told you, dude.
I turned off the candle too to like waff it.
No,
Oh my lord!
perrón del
I
pedo,
am
eh.
going to do
Perrón
Zoom
ese.
next
Vato,
week.
mira, and I'm like that, and I still got that.
Tuvo
Just
perrón.
cleared my sinuses.
Tuvo perrón.
Jesus.
We also got a
What do you
chance to
eat?
talk to Tom Bogert.
Yeah,
And we got a chance to talk to him. So here's that.
Tom Bogert. Tom, welcome to Coachella Valley Invitational. How are you, man?
Fantastic, fabulous. I feel great now. I feel much better than I did 30 seconds ago. Thank you for that.
No, absolutely. So, MLS pretty much the kickoff here, the preseason. This is what it looks like. What are your takes on this tournament or this style of preseason where everybody gets to come in and really have like a Sunday league sort of vibe in a way?
I say this in the best way. This feels like a youth soccer tournament in that you can walk around, you see people. It's, maybe not so many parents because these are all adult people, but it's nice to walk around. It feels like it's low key. It feels like the community that MLS is. So I really love coming out here. And again, the weather makes it easy too, coming from winter. So I can't say enough good things.
And Tom, it's no secret, you're the MLS expert here. What would you say takes for San Diego FC or just any expansion team? What does it take to just be successful in their first year?
Successful is having an identity from the front office to through the coaching staff, and San Diego absolutely have that. It takes a little bit of luck sometimes. I know people don't want to hear about that, but one wrong injury can really hurt the team, especially an expansion team. But you try to build through your spine and you build through the pillars of this team. What San Diego has is Chucky Lozano, and they have Andres Dreyer. They have a good center back pairing, I think, with Patty McNair and Andres Reyes. And then you kind of go on through the midfield. I think Luca De La Torre is a really key piece to this team. Before he got here, you were like, all right, like that midfield is pretty good, or you don't know about some of the non-MLS guys just from not watching them that much. But Luca De La Torre, I think, is immediately a top 5 number 8 in this league, and that's a really, really big addition for San Diego. So it's about continuity and hopefully having a little bit of injury luck, and that can pick up a lot of points.
And as you see the construction of this roster, especially with the Right to Dream aspect, where it's an academy, something that can revolutionize potentially the way MLS is played and soccer is played in the States. What are your thoughts on the way that they're navigating with Tyler Heaps, the GAM, the TAM, the good old acronyms for all those fantastic rules that we have?
No, it's really good. And what I like about this team is that they're going to be youth development. Like, that's going to be part of their central core, but they didn't run out a U23 team. I wasn't like afraid of that. I was curious to see how they were going to diversify the team. And talking to Tyler Heaps, he uses the word balance, and he uses diversify, like players that have more experience in MLS or outside the league, young players, in-prime players, experienced players. You look up and down this team, they have a lot of all of that. And as the years go by, more and more academy kids are going to come through. But they traded with Philly for a Saidi. That's a really talented player. And that was a really smart move to bring in, because some teams come in and say, we're going to start with our U12 team because we just want our kids. So I really like that San Diego were aggressive in looking around the league at other talented youngsters and balancing that, like, yeah, we want to do youth development, but we're not going to be a U23 team.
And I mean, obviously, San Diego FC's first official MLS game is against their reigning champions, LA Galaxy. Do you have any sort of match prediction for that? I know it's a little early still, but anything that you can tell us that you expect?
I don't know, man. I think that'll be fun because the Galaxy have their own questions. Obviously, Ricky Pooch is injured, but they have so much talent. I mean, you just look at the early schedule for San Diego, man. Welcome to MLS. They've got this. They go to altitude twice. They got Columbus on the schedule, so it ain't gonna be easy early on. But what I know is those fans are gonna be out there. Again, I think if Chucky Lozano hits the ground running, that's going to paper over a lot of things, because you don't need to be perfect if you have a special attacker. So how Chucky starts the season, I think, will be a big factor in how they start the season.
So in terms of, finish it up here, just like an elevator pitch, because there's a lot of like soccer snobbery happens, and San Diego is very close to Liga MX and Cholos and what they have. So, like, what is that elevator pitch for, hey, MLS is a fun, entertaining league, but a competitive league, and good to watch soccer?
It is extremely entertaining. Support your local. Look, there's plenty of room to be a Liga MX fan, an MLS fan, and a Premier League fan, right? There's enough hours in the day. There's enough great shows like yours to get caught up if you miss some games. So, for me, it's inclusive. There's a ton of stuff. And, hey, Liga MX is different from MLS. That's good and bad. MLS is different from the Premier League. It's good and bad. Don't talk about what this league isn't. Talk about what it is. And it's very entertaining. It's fun. There's a lot of high talented players and a lot of athletic, just up and down chaos. Embrace the chaos. That's the elevator pitch.
Love that. One last question for you. Best and favorite boots. If you can have one boot of all
Oh my
time?
God. The gold Addy Zeros, Adidas. Those are my favorite ones. Oof. Absolutely.
Really turned into our personality test. What's your favorite boot? What is your favorite soccer cleat boot?
I honestly have never even thought about that. I know we ask that to a lot of the players.
It's a personality test.
I only ever had like one pair. Actually, it was always the Messi's.
Just the Messi's. It's just called the Messi's. Yeah, no, I know the F. I know which one you're talking about. No, 100%. That was really, really cool. Yeah, 100% super knowledgeable. He's the gold standard for MLS right now.
Maestro.
The MLS maestro. I think you guys will be on his show when he and David do their SDFC season preview. We're here. We follow each other. We've networked. So I'm down. Maybe. I'm down. Old school Adidas Copa Mundiales, Alex Garcia. You are actually in for a surprise when we talk to head coach Jonas Eidevall for San Diego Wave about that exactly. And I surprised him with some knowledge on the Copa Mundiales as well. All right. One last interview here. We had the Alvarado interview that was out there. SDFC also provided that. But SDFC wasn't there for the goal scorer, Patty McNair, in his interview following the 3-1 defeat to New York City FC. So here it is.
The first game here, the Coachella Valley Invitational, you played a full 90, also get yourself on the scoring end of things. How does the body feel coming into the last part of the preseason, into the MLS season?
Yeah, no, it was obviously a tough game. They're a good side. We had a tough week's training leading up to it, so the legs were, probably feeling quite heavy coming into it, which was planned, So, it was good to get minutes on the pitch against MLS opposition.
It seemed like the counter-attacking was kind of like a struggling point for the team. How does the team move forward with this and try to fix that problem?
Yeah, it's the first time I've played against an MLS team, so there's always going to be things we're going to need to improve on, and we'll look back at the game and pick out things that we can and take it forward.
Is there anything specifically with this MLS preseason that feels different from, say, other preseasons in Europe or anywhere else that you've played?
It's the first time we'll have had sort of teams playing beside each other at one time. Really, I've not had that before, but I think it's it's a good idea, and it's good to see other teams up close.
And then in terms of developing and being ready for that first game on the 23rd, what have you seen across the league with the videotapes and scouting? What are your impressions of the league from here on?
Yeah, the standard's high. It's a lot of good players, and it's going to be obviously we're going to have playing against a lot of good teams, and there's going to be ups and downs on the way. But I think it's good. The first time we played against MLS opposition today, and we can move forward.
And you got a small taste of playing in front of the crowd, right? A taste of what the atmosphere could look like at Snapdragon. How did it feel playing in front of the supporters group?
Yeah, it was good. Obviously, we could hear them throughout the game, so. I'm sure there's a couple hundred there, so it'll be good to see when there's a few thousand. Thank you, Patty.
Love that. Patty McNair, goal scorer extraordinaire, shouting out the supporters as well. So shout out to the SDISU with that performance that they had at the Coachella Valley Invitational. But yeah, some good stuff, some good access to the players, the teams were, We're warming up. We're in preseason too for it, and we're getting ready for this new year of soccer in San Diego. How about the SU groups putting it down? Dago Boys and Chavos always putting it down. Oh, 100%. They came out. They came out in force. I guess. No me olvido de los Dago Boys. Always there, bro. Jeez. What a comment.
Please, Luis, do not force him to do that.
Incite violence. Silent. Very silent.
Silent. But he told us immediately.
Yeah, no, it kind of ruins the silence of it. All right. So that's some of the sounds that we had over from training. Good times out there. I can't think of else. Wednesday, San Diego FC playing Portland. And a lot of things that are, it's already in motion. The season's already here. To the 23rd is a couple of sleeps away. But yeah, anything else, guys, for San Diego FC?
I think that's about it. And I mean, again, we're going to see what happens on Wednesday against Portland. And then from there, we'll have more to talk about next week.
Absolutely. So with that, thank you. Keep the conversation going. If you want this content, follow San Diego FC, San Diego Football on all social medias. We have, if Blue Sky gets it together, we can upload more on there, more videos. But you can find it on Instagram, X, YouTube, anywhere you find San Diego Football, you can find this exclusive content. Good job. You do a good job.
Great job,
You guys all did a great job.
Yeah. By the way, a comment earlier, George. Where'd you go? Where'd you go, George? Where'd you go? Making when Tony and Chivo rolling up, they were walking with their own security. My girl, bro. Were you trying to insinuate, bro? You want some? Oh, what's up with the silent treatment? We just agreed.
I mean, I think that maybe she was like taking care of you. Maybe that's like she was like walking behind you, like giving people the look. Like that's happened to me before, where like I'm walking behind someone and you're just kind of like looking up ahead, looking for like threats and stuff. You never do that when you're walking.
I am the danger.
You're the danger. You're like you're the one that's always walking in front, looking out for.
You think that of me? I am the one who knocks.
You're gonna be Snap on Sunday? Maybe.
Yeah, on the weekend we'll probably making that appearance.
Is there soccer's?
San Diego Soccer
On Sunday?
Ooh.
I'll try to make it Sunday.
Soccer?
Oh, no, not the soccer's. Hey,
watch your mouth.
I'm not trying to be. I'm not
She was
making that
rolling up
right.
in all
That's
black
funny.
with shades. No, 100%. Fuck ass. Just protecting everything and everyone. That could be Abe's personal security.
Of course you can.
Anybody can. Look at him.
Hey, how come you didn't invite him to Disneyland? He was a little upset about that.
Who, Luis?
No, you.
Oh.
You were upset about that.
Oh no, I wasn't upset.
You're
I'm
a
okay.
Disneyland? You're a
No,
Disneyland guy?
I went to Big Bear. No.
Ah.
I was saying, dude, Big Bear is expensive, man. Going snowboarding is expensive. I don't know if I'll be able to do that again.
I grabbed my muscle. It wasn't anything else. I know you saw the contact and it looks like I've just like groped myself, but like there's a muscle right there, like ligament.
That's it. That's all we have for San Diego FC, and now we're gonna be moving on to our San Diego Wave content.
Promising for the last couple of weeks. We finally got a hold of San Diego Wave's new head coach, Jonas Eidevall, who is preparing his team here in preseason as well. They had a scrimmage today, actually, at the Olympic Training Center. Jonas gets into that a little bit. We'll share some more details from what we heard coming out from that matchup as they go into their stint at the Coachella Valley Invitational with two games, one against the Houston Dash, and I do believe the other one is against there's two games at the Coachella Valley Invitational for San Diego Wave.
I think it's Portland.
Portland? Yeah, I think that's the first one. And then Houston Dash. So we did catch up with head coach Jonas Eidevall earlier today. So with that, sit tight and enjoy this interview. From head coach for San Diego Wave, the great and powerful Jonas Eidevall. Jonas, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you guys?
Good. We're going to go ahead and just get right up into it. San Diego Wave season is starting up. Preseason is heating up. And we just want to get your take and your feel on the squad right now and how you're kind of coming in and what you're seeing with the players and what kind of squad you're building with players that you have here into this new season.
It's a big question. But if we start with saying when I'm coming in, of course, now it's about assessing what we have and finding out how we can utilize that the best way possible, but also now to see like what do we need to add to develop in one extra level.
And then, I mean, obviously coming in and getting to know the players, who have you seen kind of stepped up in that leadership role? Obviously, we talked that training last week with Naomi Girma departing. She was a big leader in the team, but who have you seen so far step up into that leadership role?
I mean, obviously, like I said, it's really a good opportunity for more players here now to take a step forward and do that. But I mean, one player that I think both speaks well and acts well is the goalkeeper, Kaylin Sheridan. She's certainly one of the strong leaders in the group, but there are also many more. So they will be interesting to build on.
And Jonas, I was wondering if for some of the people that don't know you or who you are, what kind of coach you are, how would you describe some of like the key tenets of your coaching style and what you hope to bring to this team?
Well, I think I'm a coach that sort of for me, football is everything, and for you guys, it's soccer. So for me, I live it. So it's about finding all the details that will make us to be successful as a team. So you could probably say I'm passionate. You can probably say that I'm very, very driven, and I expect the same thing for everyone around me. And if that's players, if that's staff, if that's other people in the organization as well. But I'm also structured, and I think that is an important part if you're going to be successful in soccer, because it's a quite chaotic game. It's hard to be in controlled possession of the game, and to be able to provide structure around, so we know what we're doing, so we can be on the same page, which is obviously quite hard when you're 11 players in a game where it's hard to control the ball. For me, that is key. That should never be confused with being static and not moving, because you have to move. You have to make it a fluid game. That's a key principle in soccer. But you need to be able to be on the same page, and for that requires organization and structure. So I'm definitely a coach that would bring that as well.
And we've talked about the NWSL being a league of transition and just how fast-paced this league has been. How do you see yourself managing the high-paced transitional phases with the club that you have right now? Are you more anchored to bring up a high attack and score? We'll worry about defensive later, or do you want to go ahead and have that midfield that kind of pivots on both ends and just settle things in the middle and control the game?
Well, I think I'm sort of neither of what you're saying, and that was sort of my approach in the game. Like, for me, everything is important that we do. So for me, it's going to be important how we throw in the ball, for example. It's going to be important how we build in from goal kicks. But even so, we will need to have a really clear idea about how we do in all different aspects of the game. And I think this is true for any soccer team, that you will do everything in soccer. You will press high, you will sit in a mid block, you will be in a low block. Now what changes is the proportions of that. What will happen more often, and that sort of becomes your identity. But it doesn't change the fact that you will need to be able to handle all different facets of that. So for me, that's really important, that we have a clear idea, we have a clear plan on how we execute every single phase, both in offense and in defense. Then if you ask me how I see the game, I like to have the ball. I like to be in control of the game. And I see the league here and watching there. Sometimes you look away a second from the screen and there's goal scoring opportunity, and be like, wow, how did that happen? Like that's not, like, my brain wasn't wired for that. This could become a goal scoring opportunity in the next seconds. Like, normally that wouldn't happen. And I think the league is so fast and sometimes so uncontrollable. But I think what we can control is our own actions, our positions. And for me, it very much sits together. The positions we have when we attack is always the positions that we start defending with. So if you understand that concept in soccer, I think you've come a long way to start being a good team in transitions. And equally, the positions you have when you defend is the positions you're going to have in the start of the attacks as well. So those things are so connected, and you can never separate them from each other. And sometimes, when I was seeing San Diego play last season, I thought there was a disconnection between these things, which meant that you had a very expansive team, sometimes in offense. And of course, if you lose the ball in those moments, now it's going to be very difficult to defend the transitions.
I love that. I'm hearing high work rates for everybody. Let's get this
100%.
cardio going.
And I mean, obviously, upcoming, you have the Coachella Invitational. You have a game on the 16th, and then a few days after, your international players some of the internationals are leaving to international duty. How are you planning on just managing with so many internationals now in the team?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's few international compared what I'm used to. Normally, this is holiday season for me. In the previous clubs that I've been at, it's only been one or two players left when it's international break. So I mean, this is different for me because here we actually have still a lot of players left that we can work with, which I think it's really useful for us to do. But of course, we can't work with the whole team. But that part we just have to work our way around. But it means also that this week leading up here to Coachella is going to be really important for us because it's sort of the last week where we have everyone that is here right now anyways that we can work with, and then we just have to take sort of a 10-day period where we work with fewer players, and after that we regroup again.
And something I've asked every wave coach, I think, that's interesting is you have a lot of teenagers and really young players that are on this team. How do you as a coach like develop those really young players that are potential future national team players or on their youth national team right now?
Well, I mean, the way I see the game is that you constantly need to be learning in the game, and we need to have a growth mindset. And I mean, that is especially important when you work with young players, because let's not confuse mistakes with failure. For example, for me, making a mistake is not being a failure, because you can learn from mistakes and you can embrace them and you can be better. And I think that's what we want from our young players, but also older players. We want them to try, we want them to do things, and from there on we can learn. And it's about setting that mentality and that environment where we become one day better and not just one day older. And I think if we are going to be successful, especially long term, it's also about developing these young players. And it's not going to happen just overnight, but if we fostering the right environment and giving them the right opportunities, then I think there are some really, really big talents there for us to work with.
I love that your approach is also very very bare bones about, like, soccer is a simple game, you've said, and you have to have complexity within that. And so with that, is your outlook on it performance based or results based? It's very easy to say, well, results, because that's what they pay me for, right? But you'd be surprised, we've talked with a lot of coaches that just say, well, at least they performed well today. Where do you go ahead and have that line of, you can just throw away how beautiful or ugly this win is going to be, but it's going to be a win? Or do you stick to, well, we need to harness this play style and go and make sure that at least we're developing into a certain identity?
I think it's such a great question, because at the end of the day, it's a results-based business. But what gives us results? Results comes from good performances.
Correct.
But then I think your point was really good, saying, like, is a good performance something that looks aesthetically good, or is it a good performance that will lead to results? And I think sometimes that's a trap people going into and saying, like, when we talk about performance, it's about doing something that will bring us results. And that's what we need to get the best situations for our players or our team to be in. But my focus is always on the performance, because that's what's going to lead to the results. Because otherwise it could be true. We can be winning 2-1 and we play a terrible game, but the opposition wastes their goal scoring opportunities and we score on our 2 only. And we can be all happy with that and say, like, okay, let's not think about the performance. Let's just go next weekend. But we play the same game again, and now we're losing 3-0. And all of a sudden now we're going to change everything. For me, that doesn't work. So constant focus on performance, because that's 100% within our own control on how we perform. But that performance that we're looking for should lead to results. Otherwise, we're thinking about it in the wrong way. So results are the most important, but you only get good results by focusing on the performance.
I love this. This is the safe space for you, Jonas, to ever talk football. We call it football. It's fine. It's football, soccer. All right.
I like that. I still have a hard time with soccer.
We do too, man.
It's easier.
I did want to ask Jonas. Obviously, the field conditions were a big issue last season for the team and just Snapdragon in general. Has there been any concerns for you when it comes to pitch conditions for this upcoming season?
Well, I'm learning a lot about different grass types right now.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Like I getting all the differences here now with the Bermuda grass that we're training on, and what we would have more like a European grass, and the growing season, how the soil temperature needs to be for that to grow, and all those things. So yeah, I think that's obviously a key thing because it plays a big part, and I think it's sometimes that might be overlooked. And I think the climate that we have here poses a big challenge in the way where we have the winter months here now, which is really nice compared to what we had in the UK, for example. But it poses the problem saying like the Bermuda grass is not growing.
Yeah.
But if we would have, is it called ryegrass?
There was a Kentucky blue that we
Kentucky
learned.
blue, yeah.
Okay, yes, yeah.
I think that only sort of requires 7 degrees in Celsius in soil temperature, so that would be growing now. And we played on that today against Utah and in Chula Vista, which was nice. But they will have the problem in the summertime with doing that, and I think that was what Snapdragon was running into. That they were having that grass type, and that was obviously not being able to go for the whole season. So yeah, a long story or a long answer on your question, saying like we're working with the pitch conditions right now. I think there is room for improvement, but I think these are all like learning points, but details that's going to be important long term for us to figure out if we want to be the football club that we want to be.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the scrimmage with Utah, some NWSL competition. What is the team showcasing that maybe you were surprised about, and how did that scrimmage go today?
It was good. I mean, we with all available players, we gave everyone game time, which was great in order to invest. A lot of the players that we have in as trialist training players got to play significant minutes, which was also really good for them to showcase their abilities. And we spoke before the game about striking the balance, about being competitive, but also to learn. Because I think you need to do both. Like you can't play a game and say, oh, it's not important how we play. At the same time, you can't say that we're not allowed to make mistakes and we can't learn about it, or things that go wrong in the beginning of the game. We're just going to address that after. Like we need to find a way of how we communicate and work together so we can learn during play and not just after play. And I think the players were brilliant in doing that. Then I think it was definitely a game it was preseason for both teams. It was good things from both teams. It was things that we're gonna develop. But it was good exercise.
I love that, and I love hearing your honesty. And again, this is a safe space for you to talk tactics, X's and O's. Let's open up the space, Jonas, as we go. And I'd love to have you back. We'll go ahead and let you turn back into your regular Monday night. Just one question. It's kind of a personality that we have here, San Diego Punto Football. Your favorite boots of all time, and why?
For me, it's the Copa Mundials.
Yes.
But it's a real coach's boot. It's not many players will play with that today, but it's a lovely, lovely boot. We hope they never get cancelled.
Oh, you can't get them in California. Sorry, Jonas. Kangaroo skin is banned in California, just to give you a heads up. Anyways.
And I, of course, doesn't wear any either.
Yeah, no, yeah, 100%. But you can't get them in Arizona. Anyway, Jonas, love the time that you have spent with us. We'll go ahead and let you go for tonight. But again, good luck with you and the squad coming up this season, and we'd love to have you back. Thank you, Jonas.
Pleasure meeting you guys. All the best. Okay, bye-bye.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Not meeting us.
Squad.
Head coach Jonas Eidevall for San Diego Wave.
Doesn't
Good guy.
know the band Copa Mundials. Doesn't own them.
Does not own them. Please don't come after him.
Good guy. Good chat. Good talk. again, just opening the space up for, hey, this is a safe space to talk tactics. It's a safe space to call it football. It's a safe space to do all these things.
Yeah. We just gotta talk like groceries with him at some point, because I know that's something like a lot of the European players talk about. Like, I don't know if you saw that interview with like Gia Corley they posted.
Oh,
she was
yeah.
like there's this thing called Target.
Yeah.
She was like freaking out about like I think that's so cool sometimes. Where it's like, dang, these are living in America is like a completely different thing.
Living in America. Target. Are you shopping at Target? Are you
I'm
buying
not-
Target's
I'm not shopping
canceled
now.
right
Are you
now.
buying Coca-Cola at Target, Abe?
I'm not buying Coca-Cola.
Is that what I'm hearing from you right now?
I don't drink soda, actually.
But when you do, you prefer Coca-Cola, All American. Got it.
Nope.
Thank you, Jonas Eidevall, for joining Two Balls and a Mic. Again, hopefully the first of many times that you'll join us here. And
He'll be sick of us eventually. It's
Yeah.
still nice. We're still having fun.
Everything's
but-
cordial. Gia was born here, LMAO.
Yeah,
Yes, but she
she
was
was.
taken, not
When-
taken,
when she was, like,
but
3 years
old over
Yeah.
to Germany.
Yeah.
She was tooketh.
Do you,
Um,
think, do you remember going to Target when you were 3 years old? 619 soccer. Do you remember Target used to have those like the
Popcorn?
carts that you could sit in, but it was different? You know what I'm talking
No,
about?
Tony was a
Oh,
Walmart kid.
I never fit in the carts.
Awkward silence. All right.
Cool.
For San Diego Wave, upcoming, there's the Coachella Invitational.
Yes.
Abe, you will be there on Sunday.
That's right.
Yes.
Like
You like meals?
that's exciting.
right.
And what's very unique about this is that they're going to be having pretty much a full roster for the 16th.
Yeah.
And then for the next one, all the internationals that got called up are pretty much gone.
Yeah.
We did get confirmation that Maria Sanchez is staying.
Yes, Maria Sanchez is staying. She will be with San Diego Wave in the concentration. But
There was also a scrimmage
Today.
today that Jonas talked about, and I think we could talk a little bit more about it.
yeah, no, actually got it from multiple sources before. Right before Jonas, we were joining in the chat. We were talking about it. Hey, like this happened today. So 3-2, San Diego Wave won this scrimmage over at the Olympic Training Center. Good performances, and exactly the Target shopper, Gia Corley, had a good performance. So that's something that people are going to start to know this new iteration of San Diego Wave through Gia Corley. And I think this is a hard reset. This is the way to go. This is the way for San Diego Wave moving forward. But Chiva, you had your prediction of what this starting 11 should look like for San Diego Wave.
Yeah, no. So this is, in my opinion, what it'll look like. Obviously, on goal with the captain armband, you're gonna have Kaylin Sheridan. At the right back, you'll have Lundvik, who could potentially get replaced or get rotations with McMahon, who we learned that is a fullback, not a center back. You'll have Kennedy Wesley and Kristen McNabb, the center back starting. Trinity Armstrong could potentially, if proven, could get a starting spot if she's performing. I think Pro Moroni is still the starting left back for now. I think Favor Emmanuel will be a starting center midfielder with Ken Sadali. Gia Corley kind of playing at that 10 role. Cascarino Sanchez on the wings and Chiamaka as the starting striker. I don't know if you guys would change anything or what do you guys think of this?
Where's McCaskill?
On the bench.
Where's McCaskill?
I have her on the bench here. I mean, I can see her starting over Kenza Dali, especially on the Coachella Invitational, considering that she's barely started getting training and she barely kind of started that the visa thing got worked out. So she's finally here in the States. So I can see McCaskill kind of filling in that position for Kenza Dali. But I think when the NWSL starts, I think it'll be Dali and Emmanuel kind of getting that start.
Do you think they're particular about the NWSL?
I don't think so.
National Women's Soccer League.
National Women's Soccer League.
Allegedly, they're gonna rebrand it completely. too.
Yeah,
I was hearing rumblings about that when the championship was here.
Yeah,
619 Soccer doesn't think they keep Caruso. I'm sorry, Caruso's great coming off the bench, but I don't think she's a starter.
Not right now. Not right now.
Not
Especially with
ever. I don't
Jonas
think
and
ever. I don't
his
think ever.
style.
I think she had a lot of injury issues, especially at the end of last season. So we kind of forget how good she was. But I think she's a great striker. But from what we've seen from Chiamaka, even in just training, how fast she is, it seems like she could.
This is a
earn-
solid starting 11.
Yeah.
Like you have
Well-
good weapon. Cascarino, let's not forget how good she is. She's probably one of the fastest players in the league too. She's so fast. She's good with the left. She's good cutting in, taking those shots. Maria Sanchez is, from what we've heard, is playing some of the best soccer in her career so far. Chiamaka looks like he's a promising rising star. What we heard from Jack Corley is that she's also very good with the ball. We've also heard from within the club, like Emmanuel is also really good. And I mean, Ken Sadali's already proven herself in the international stage. And, I think the back line will probably be kind of like the weaker point, if anything. But we've heard good things about Trinity Armstrong. We've heard good things about, we've seen how good Pearl Moroni is, especially now adapting. So I think Kaylin Sheridan, we all know how good she is as well. So I'm very optimistic about this Wave season.
Yeah, my only difference I think would probably being Trinity Armstrong in the place of someone like Kristen McNabb. Even though McNabb is one of the mainstays, I think she as like a versatile player can play in the fullback role, can play in other places.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know if the Europeans are going to be immediately starting this year, at least for the start of the season. I would probably imagine someone like Mackenzie Doniak maybe in the midfield.
Mackenzie Robbie.
Yeah, Mackenzie Robbie. Sorry about that, but
yeah, no, Mackenzie Robbie can definitely just be a starter as well. I mean, she's proven herself from the start from day one for San Diego Wave and just gotten better every season. So I could potentially also seeing her as a starter.
And yes, that is correct. We were just talking about a 32 against Utah.
Utah.
Gia Corley.
That's cool.
What?
Utah themselves said, like, yeah, we lost, guys.
Yeah, very, very solid from them. Saw Linus' playback project. No, and it's.
But the issue is with these lineups. Like I thought last year was a solid lineup on paper. When you had Daniel Colaprico, Emily Van Egmond, Savannah McCaskill, Jaden Shaw, Naomi Girma, probably players of that are higher name value in this lineup. I would have said compared that on paper to this on paper. I would have thought that team is probably better, and that team was near the bottom of the table. So
that team had no consistency, especially when it came to coaching staff.
That is true, but it's hard to expect consistency from basically a brand new team when you have like 8 new players coming in. It's going to be hard to, like, in my opinion, just expect them to be consistent right off the bat.
Which again, I'm glad there's 8 new players in this team, considering how bad it was last season.
That's true.
Thank you, Wave, for changing something. If your team did so poor, they didn't make playoffs, was almost last place in the season, I would hope they changed things, and they did that for sure. Obviously, Naomi Girma getting traded wasn't maybe the thing I was expecting.
Ideal
or Jaden
Shaw.
Shaw.
Ideal or Jaden Shaw, but again, you roll with the punches and you kind of go with what you have.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a weird season this year no matter what, with like so many new players, with the new coach, with sharing the field with SDFC, the pitch conditions themselves. I think it's going to be a whole thing this year again, but this lineup on paper still looks all right.
Love that.
But you can't trust the papers. Papers change.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
But I think that especially in the NWSL with international breaks, scheduling, the travel, same thing with SDFC. But there's some things that SDFC and Wave can both use as excuses. Oh, it's a new team. Well, it's a brand new overhaul. Where it's travel. It's this. So we'll see where these two teams start to kind of parallel each other, and where they'll start to stray away from each other, if at all. But I don't know. It'll be very interesting to keep an eye on that.
Promising. That's a good
way of seeing it.
Promising.
Yeah, I think that's a good place. Anything San Diego Wave? San Diego Wave will continue their preseason. Now at Coachella Valley Invitational, 2 games.
Do you think the Wave get mad that so many NWSL teams train here in San Diego? Because last year I think it was Washington was training at the Olympic Training Center, and now this year it's Utah.
No, I don't think.
Stay out of our territory.
No, I don't think that's a big deal.
No.
A lot of MLS teams have always come here.
Yeah,
always,
that's true.
Always.
It's gotta be cold in Utah right now. How cold do you think?
Temperature in Utah. It's a big state, but all right.
29 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yikes.
Woo.
Oh no.
Gentlemen, anything else for Wave? Abe will be there Sunday.
I'll be there. I'm excited to talk to some players, maybe definitely Jonas Eidevall, but yeah. Well, if you guys got any questions or anything you want us to ask, you can always drop a comment. Let
Columbus
us
Crew was at Chula Vista Training Center this past month. That is correct.
Hey, you get to see Angel City in Portland and Seattle Reign against Bay FC.
Just make a section of Club America on your show. ¿Sabes qué? You want to talk about Las Águilas? Las Águilas de Philadelphia are the Super Bowl champions. Jalen Hurts had put everything to bed. The best, most dominating performance of a football team in the postseason of all time.
Really?
They scored the most points.
Remember that Denver game a couple years ago?
Yeah, that was a game. But like overall as a postseason,
Oh,
the Eagles
overall in the
just
total
destroyed.
postseason. Okay.
Destroyed.
That's fair.
Absolutely killed. That is your Águilas section of the day.
And that's also what we had for San Diego Wave. And now, to wrap up the show, we're going to go into goals, gaffes, and greats.
All right. Goals, gaffes, and greats. We have a goal officially from
San Diego professional team.
SDFC. San Diego FC. Hey, let's put some audio too. Let's make them work for it. Where'd it go? There it is.
Oh, no. Where is the goal?
You're gonna do it, Tony. I believe in you.
That's mean. That's incredibly rude.
I'm just copying Chivas' joke.
It is a corner, but Hack, that was a pretty important intervention.
Goal of the week goes to Patty
Hack has
McNair.
been a reliable squad player. Made his pro debut with NYCFC when he was just 17 years old as a homegrown. San Diego go on the short corner play, feed it into the 6. And the first goal of the Coachella Valley Invitational for San Diego. That strike belongs to Patty McNair. The Northern Irishman gets it started for the Southern California side.
Adiós, cabrón. Bien chingón.
Nothing but the best.
That was your the week.
How would you have commentated that?
Oh, you're the commentator.
Let's do a pretend fake. We'll mute it and have you guys.
All right,
you guys do the
we're
commentary.
each doing
Okay.
one.
Oh,
Alright.
okay, jeez.
Who starts? Who starts?
Abe.
Abe starts.
What? Okay.
All right.
And we have a corner kick here for San Diego FC. Chucky Lozano. Oh, quick move. He moves it into here, and then he goes back to Chucky Lozano. Cross in, and there's Patty McNair. Header and goal. Patty McNair. It is officially 1-0, 19th minute here at the Coachella Valley Invitational. 1-0, San Diego FC over New York City Football Club.
All right. I like that. All right, Chiva, your turn.
Your turn.
No, it's your turn.
Oh, okay.
My
go,
house.
Go back. All right, ready? Corner kick here for San Diego FC. Chucky Lozano is going to be taking it. He takes it quickly over to Anders Dreyer. Anders Dreyer back to Chucky Lozano. Chucky looking for someone. It's going to be Patty. Goal! San Diego FC goes up first in the 18 minutes in the first half of the Coachella Invitational. Patty McNair gives the first goal to San Diego FC in the first goal here. Patty McNair. That was terrible.
In their first ever professional match and open
Against
doors.
the-
I
yeah.
don't know. Something like
All right.
All right.
Now,
Now
here's
for
the
the
real
gaff-
broadcaster.
for
Here's
the
the real
gaff of the
broadcaster. No, we
week.
gotta let Tony go. Oh,
Let's see. Real broadcaster.
Y viene Chucky. Rápido con Dreyers. Abre Chucky de nuevo. Chucky, ve. Disparo con el tiro. Gol. Paddy McNair, el escocés, el europeo, conexión de San Diego FC. 1-0, que acá acabamos de ver. Chucky conecta con Patty McNair. Los locales, los Reptiles, la Unión de San Diego, los supporter groups que todavía no tienen nombre oficial, celebran, se vuelven locos. Se ve aquí Chucky Lozano de nuevo con Patty McNair. Gol.
wow. You know, can I be honest about something, Tony? I think the little nasaliness in your voice made it sound a little. I liked it.
I like the golazo there, Patty
No,
McNair.
I'm serious. Like you sounded like a true Mexican Televisa something. Like, or I'm just like, whoa.
You put some respect on there, dude. Like
Not maybe not that close. Yeah, you're right. But
here it is. In
I heard
English. Here's Chucky Chucky to Dreyers. Chucky once again. Lozano crosses it into the box, and Patty McNair with the header. It is 1-0 San Diego FC, and the crowd goes absolutely bonkers and bananas. I cannot believe what we've seen. This is a team that is here for the victory. They have put their mark on soccer in the United States. San Diego FC 1, New York FC 0. And then, yeah, tangent of a
Cool.
I think we all did better than them.
No, I thought their call was okay.
No, 100%. It's fucking preseason.
It's preseason. Yeah, they should not have as much energy as we had.
Oh, they should.
Now,
Keep
if
it
they
calm.
go, Tony made me take off his shirt and celebrate the goal. Hopefully, you were in a safe space and away from people. All right, Gaff of the week. Week is provided to you in part by this healthy breakfast, gentlemen. I know for a fact you haven't seen this, so because you guys don't pay attention to the San Diego Soccers like I do.
We don't get paid.
I pay attention to the scores and performances.
All right, so
I read stuff about
performances. Let's. What do you think about this performance? They just conceded a goal.
Okay, San Diego Soccers just conceded a goal for the audio listeners. Pushing the ball back. Oh,
Talk about energy on the mic, guys.
It's a massive start, Joey.
It's a massive start.
A completely unexpected result. One goal to start good, Joey.
Pendejo.
Two even better. Pardo.
that was not worst part of.
That was funny.
It happens.
And it happens, especially in indoor soccer. You get not a great pass.
The call though.
That was a great call.
Amazing
call.
Losing his mind. It's a massive start.
Completely unexpected result. One goal to start's good, Joey. Two's even better. Pardo.
To be completely fair, the next goal he gave up was not any better. Oh, Soccer's messed that up right there for sure.
Did they win this game?
Did they won?
Did they win?
Oh yeah, they win it.
Cool. They won. They won.
That's why indoor soccer is so awesome. You can have two misses like that and still come back.
Yeah, and they did. They came back. They won by 1 goal. San Diego Soccers. They won in overtime. So shout out to them.
And now for our grade of the week. Our grade of the week, it goes to
Me.
our guest of the episode, Jonas. Eidevall.
Jonas.
Howard, who wrote this up?
Who wrote
That was
this
good. That was fantastic. That's a great reference. Like we appreciate that. You can be filled in later. We didn't have a grade of the week. Where's my grade of the week?
What?
I give mine to Jonas. Thank you for joining and being part of the San Diego football.
I had a grade of the week.
Tony
I'm
does
upset.
not prepare us much for the episode, as some of us do. So, infirmed.
I'll give the grade of the week to Tony for playing through injury right here.
No,
I love that, especially after being assaulted by.
Oh, do we have it?
Do we have it? Dewey Decimal System. You know what?
You assaulted me.
I didn't assault anybody.
Oh yeah, you did. Hasta me sacaste la lonja y todo.
When we finished the interview with Jonas Eidevall and the appearance on the other podcast, the Battered Herons of Inter Miami, there was some arguing here in the studio, in the garage. And here Tony's going to have the video. I took a little bit of a video just in case something truly horrible happened.
Viewer discretion
Advised.
is advised.
Hey, wow. Abe was very disturbed by this.
And by disturbed, I mean he had his hands down his pants. There was only one hand. There was only one hand
We're not
recording
taking that
like
slander here.
Like I was giving you a chance.
I usually skip this part.
Los que tienen compas, you know, if you know, you know.
I'll let you decide.
This is an HR violation. Usually it's
HR.
What maneuver?
I did that to HR.
Yeah.
He is HR. Don't need
Hey, when they have you in a headlock.
Having fun isn't hard when you got a library card, guys. But all right. That's the grade of the week.
Yeah.
Just the fun that we have here. Thank you.
Self-defense.
Yeah, self-defense is the grade of the week. Make sure consensual safe.
I was about to keep the fight going right now, just to like end the show. I thought it was gonna be funny, but then I got scared because I was like, if I like actually go on to him, we'll never like end the stream. Then I would like be able to incapacitate you.
You would never be able to incapacitate
No,
anybody.
true. I can easily incapacitate you right now if I wanted to.
How?
Thank you for watching. Two balls in the
I'm
mic.
really curious how you think that's gonna happen.
Didn't they serve an HR paper?
And look, you're moving your microphone like you wanted to do something. All right. I know. I'd be very impressed. Clip that soundbite. We'll go ahead and have that. Didn't serve HR paperwork. Tony, so now yeah, no, I am HR. I am the captain now. Thank you for joining us. Tomorrow, Soccer's
Good
on
night.
Bye bye.